Hi viewers, I have this fascinating clip of Dr. Frank Turek discussing about family. I would love us to discuss about this. Can we just talk about this for some while and see what we can learn from it?
Do we have in the room here? All right, how many former children do we have in the room here? Okay, good. That's all of us then. All right? Question. If your parents approved of everything you wanted to do when you were 13 years old, would they have been loving? No, of course not. Love doesn't mean approval. Love doesn't mean enabling people to do evil. Love means you're standing in the way of evil. If you approve of everything some kid wants to do, you're not loving, you're unloving, you're an enabler. In fact, in the passage that everybody reads at their wedding, but nobody obeys, 1 Corinthians 13, here's what Paul says about love. Love does not rejoice in wrongdoing, love rejoices in the truth. Love always protects. Love always perseveres. You don't protect people when you're approving of the evil they're doing. You're doing the opposite. Knock it off.
I actually had to learn this aspect of protecting people with love the hard way. My dad was so good at that. If my dad like approved everything I really wanted to do while growing up to this stage of my life, damn man, I don't know where I would be. Okay, imagine myself at this stage. I know what I've done, and I know things I've seen in life. I know things I've experienced, right? But it's crazy. Imagine my dad actually approving everything I actually wanted to do in life. I grew up in an environment that I saw a lot of this. I had a lot of friends that were so like their parents actually we use the word spoil them with love, a lot of things, but I've seen friends, I've seen people like
In
that.
fact,
I've
Jesus,
had
who went to
friends
the
that went
cross for
through this
us, gave
stuff.
us one new command. You know what the one new command is? Here it is. He says, a new commandment I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. How did he love us? He sacrificed himself for us. So what is love for us? It means sacrifice. It doesn't mean approval. Do you know, when we fail to say what we know to be true because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, we're not really loving people. We're enabling them to do evil. And a lot of times we won't tell them the truth because we don't want them mad at us. And you know why we do that? Because we want to take the easy way. We will sacrifice them for our benefit rather than sacrificing ourselves for their benefit. That's what love is, to sacrifice yourself for the benefit of others. So you need to tell people what the truth is in as tactful a way as possible. Here's one way you could do it. You might say to somebody you love who, say, is wanting to approve of, say, aberrant sexual practices. They're all over now. You might say to them, hey, if I was about to go down a road you knew that would hurt me and hurt others and would be against God's will, would you love me enough to tell me? What's the other person going to say? Well, of course. Great. Can I do the same for you right now? Love does not mean approval. Thomas Sowell is now 9.
Yeah, I honestly love this example. I honestly love the way he was able to apply this. I love the way everything just like the way he was able to like the example he gave was so perfect. Like sometimes you have to be honest, but the problem is we we feel we'll hurt people when we're being honest. We feel we're hurting our loved ones when we're being honest. Why actually we don't know. Being honest is what will save them. Probably if would have been honest from the beginning, maybe they could have been saved from a particular problem they're going through. Just there's a lot of instances in life alone that you being honest will actually help a lot of people, but we tend not to be honest. We think we're hurting them.
4 years old and says everything well. Put it this way. He said, when you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, you tell them what they want to hear. How often do we tell people what they want to hear? Oh, we don't want to risk the relationship. Well, what kind of relationship do you have anyway if you can't tell them the truth?
It's so true. When you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, you tell them what they want to hear. Thomas well. That's so perfect to me. Let's continue.
Oh, we don't want to risk the relationship. Well, what kind of relationship do you have anyway if you can't tell them the truth? What are you risking? And by the way, Jesus wasn't always nice. Jesus told people the truth. In fact, if you think Jesus was a nice guy who's never said a bad word about anyone, you have not read
I read all these verses
John chapter 8,
just a
Matthew
moment
chapter
ago.
23. Jesus was
Never a nice guy to some setting, because like I understand, not a nice guy, not he was never a nice guy, but the way he reacts with people around him, the way he reacts to people around him, the way he reacts to his disciple, like his honesty about everything is so pure. He does not care about your feeling. He does not care about how you're going to feel. His honesty about everything is so pure. He will just let you know this is what is going on. You either take it or leave it. Like, if you're going to do this, take it or leave it. Like, talking about Jesus was not a nice guy. There's a lot of things we can talk about that. A lot of topic. Jesus was physically strong. To me, Jesus was not a nice guy. Jesus was physically strong. Continue.
not Barney. Can't we all get along, boys and girls? No! I came to bring a sword. It's going to divide mother and daughter, father and son. How often do you hear those passages talked about? But most of you in this room know those passages are true. Why? Because you're divided in your own family over Jesus. Guess what? You ought to be. You ought to be following Jesus and not the world. Jesus did not come to bring unity, not with the world. He came to bring unity in the church, but not the world. So Jesus was tough, and he didn't approve of everything, quite obviously. In fact, if love required approval, then Jesus was unloving. If love required approval, then you couldn't love your children. Now, you love them when they're little, but when they become teenagers, yeah, you love them, but you don't always feel like you love them, right? You probably never thought of abandonment, but you've thought of murder several times. If love required approval, you couldn't love your spouse. You couldn't love your enemies. How do you love your enemies if love requires approval? In fact, God couldn't love you if love required approval. Love does not require approval.
Honestly, I learned a lot from this. I don't know about you, but I don't know about you. I actually learned a lot, and it actually it's so meaningful to me. I'm not yet married, but I experienced it from like my family, people around me, my friends. A lot of ways I've experienced it, I've seen it, and I know what he's talking about is so real. And by the way, don't forget to drop your own comments and still discuss about this more. So drop your comment at the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that like button. I love you.